bare minimum requirement for one to be a martial artist is a willingness to die and to sacrifice one's whole family for the cause as a result of being persecuted by the enemy, especially. And a willingness to train their family to be willing to kill themselves rather than to conform to satanic cultures. The second basic requirement is a willingness
because women
to give someone their rightful place for these ideas, publicly, a culture that accepts, and the more the public denies it, the more emotional intelligence that they have it. This idea that they can look inside someone
spiritual struggle
and understand their emotions.
And what kind of spirit
can? It is ultimately the African.
Of course, this is partially a result of
kind of gladiator culture. Spirit, not the yin yang, which is the darkness and the Luciferian. And women are emotional and a consumer.
Seeks to replace.
Right? They're referring to a consumer idea.
To do so,
understanding emotion
requires morality,
from a psychological masculinity,
probably feminine
psychology,
and evolutionary
dedication,
psychology,
which promotes hypergamy. In other words, sharpness, corporate scum,
keenness,
insight.
Listen very carefully,
and more.
This is all the martial art principles that I talk about.
Actually, a good person.
This
goes
is
back
what
to the soul and spirit.
Therefore,
let's think about the Indian.
When you're outside of this, you're outside of the idea of being a true martial artist. Period. And when you're outside of the divine
African
order,
person from
you are not
village
truly a martial artist
corrupt by
so you also have to be in the divine order.
By the globalist
Everything
culture.
else is a warrior of this world at best,
core rape,
seeking to
correction,
usurp the martial art order
for core erection. So let's think about what signs we have.
How these in society
terms
are applied in these types of people.
Consider the idea.
Now let's think about the corporate
of the spectrum
of love, soul,
one who dresses in a manner that is
divine positivity,
that is often
to be distinguished from a positivity that is associated
and it is
with
official,
making people want to conform to evil.
Obviously, when you go toward
It
professional,
is truly negative
and official, you go toward
perhaps
fake.
in its most potent
This is
form.
propaganda. This is illusion.
To come off as
These
positive,
people are told
in a
how to
way
treat people and
that makes
behave
people
by
want to
psychologists,
conform to
and
evil,
psychologists
to roll
deal
with it,
in
etc.
illusion. They deal in trance-like states. The root of the word psychology in its truest form is psyche, and she was put in a trance for the purpose of controlling reproduction, sexual activity, and who she believes she's in love with. So ultimately, women believe that they understand emotions more than men, but they are actually further away from it, and men use this to manipulate them and to trick them into going to fraternity and parties and to rape them. Okay. So once you understand that, you understand where to look. What is the spectrum? The core of all cultures is where Ra touches the world or where Ra is in spirit. The warrior is the core of a culture. Think about the Mongols, the Vikings, the Huns. Think about the Saxons, the Normans. Think about the Zulus. Think about the Aztecs. The core is the warrior, and the priest just helps to define the warrior if he does. That's it. What good is the priest if he doesn't help the warrior define himself? But what good is the priest compared to what good is the warrior? Without the warrior, you have no culture. The warrior king is the true king. So when we look at the spectrum, somewhere on the spectrum you have the nice Chinese person, the nice Indian person, the nice African villager. But further up and toward the core of the spectrum, the true heart of the spectrum, the highest point, the point of life, is the African martial arts warrior. A lot of people can't understand that. They see Shaka Zulu movies,